Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Mayor of the happening Horowhenua, Bernie Wanden. Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning, John.
Lovely to hear you. We've been having some issues with the telephones, but it's great to hear you. I particularly wanted to talk to you, Bernie, about a story that has been running for, all of this week and has touched many hearts. About a 90-year-old lady, and I happen to know her, so I know she won't mind being called a lady, because she is, who was monstered by three young people. And it just seems to have caused enormous angst in the community and worrying about what on earth we can do to look after the more vulnerable in our population. I imagine you've been hearing some feedback as well.
I certainly have, and it has dominated everything that we've done this week in terms of trying to find a good community response to this. And as council, obviously, we are very concerned that the people in our neighbourhood and communities don't feel safe. Look, we're trying to do everything we can in that wellbeing space to hopefully improve that. But, as I've said a number of times this week, I don't believe this is a reflection on what our community is normally like, and it is very much a one-off.
Well, we certainly hope it is a one-off. Do you think that there's some education required of the older and more vulnerable members of our community to educate them to the fact that things have changed, that it's possibly not quite the same as they remember them way back when?
I suppose there is an element of that as well. But you can understand an old lady who can see a couple of young girls standing at her door asking for some help, and being the sort of generation that they are, they generally want to be supportive and helpful. So you can understand why she opened her door to them, especially following a couple of days of, from Halloween. It's just one of those unfortunate incidents where someone has taken advantage of her good nature. And we're really concerned for her, obviously, and that hopefully the community doesn't feel that this is ordinary. I'd also like to add, though, that in our community wellbeing space, we do have a very good age concern network, the Older Persons Network,
Yes.
Which has a number of people and agencies that are connected to helping older people, feel safe in our community.
I've actually attended one of those meetings of the network. I think it is an excellent initiative, and the one that I attended, the deputy mayor chaired it for some time until the mayor came in from another meeting and took over chairing it. And I thought, that is excellent because it's high-level patronage and showing that the politicians are serious about this. So does that practice continue?
Certainly does, and we're very proud of our Community Wellbeing Committee. It is probably one of the leading districts in the country in terms of how we approach that wellbeing situation. And that's right across the different sectors of the community, old, young, disability, the whole gambit of all those community organisations. We try to keep a connection and a network so that people can relate to them and get any information that they want. And I think you'll find that... Sorry.
No, you carry on, Bernie. Carry on, sorry.
I think you'll find that with especially the Older Persons Network and Age Concern, that they will be doing a heck of a lot more work in that community space and trying to make sure that people feel safe.
Absolutely.
Look, we know that we've got a huge amount of people in this community living alone, and we don't want to in any way make them feel vulnerable and unsafe.
Absolutely. Now, for people who don't understand that network, as I understand it, there were mainly people around that table who are deliverers. They are people who are working in this area. And what I found so good is that as they came up with problems, people began to scope solutions, and you heard around the table, oh, I can help with that, or we can do this, and it had a dynamism about it, which I thought was very impressive. So with that in mind, and with the situation we had on Saturday in mind, do you think that that network could be the way of coming up with some solutions to the issues that have been raised in that incident on Saturday?
Certainly, John. I think there's definitely an opportunity for that forum to be able to try and find some solutions and maybe make sure that communication and dialogue is enhanced and made better, and that if anyone does feel that they need support, that they can easily find that within those sort of agencies.
Well, let's hope so. And, of course, we'll just reiterate the fact that what happened on Saturday is not normal, it's not acceptable, and it's something that does not typify what happens in our communities.
No, look, it's a very sad event that happened. Look, and I don't want to downplay the seriousness of it at all. But it is sad that some people will feel unsafe because of an incident like this. I've got my own family members who don't live very far from that where the incident took place, who are obviously anxious and concerned about the whole thing as well. And so look, we're hopefully, that we can sort of restore the confidence and of all those in the community for, being able to live by themselves and feel safe in their own homes.
Excellent. And incidentally, tomorrow on BGFM, we're talking to the National Director of Neighbourhood Support. So we'll get that perspective as well. On a very related issue, I've come across what I think is a very exciting initiative, and I'll just read out from a press release I have here. An exciting new tool would significantly improve the lives of older people, helping them to age well independently. The tool was designed by the Senior Wellness Project Team, SWELL, a collaboration between the Horowhenua District Council and Electors Securely, who was successful in securing a spot in the Lightning Lab GovTech program. I won't go on to read all of it, except I'd just like to say, Bernie, good on you, good on the council, because this is acting proactively in the space we've been talking about.
Definitely. And all parties that are concerned in this project should be congratulated, because it could actually change the dynamics of older people living by themselves quite considerably. So on Tuesday night, that project was one of 10 that was presented to an audience of 780 at the Embassy Theatre in Wellington. It was almost like a Dragon's Den type of presentation. And the only award made that night was a People's Choice Award, which this project was the winner. So the people there thought that had the most merit. So we're very pleased about that, and hopefully it will lead to some really good outcomes for older people in the future.
And incidentally, isn't Electra a great asset to the Kapiti Coast?
It sure is.
It's fantastic.
They do a huge amount,
yes.
Not only just in terms of what their core business is, but there's a lot of other stuff that they do behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Undervalued and underappreciated.
Well, I appreciate them, and I'm sure you do too. Bernie, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's much appreciated, as always, here on Beach FM.
Thank you, John.
All the best. That's the Mayor of the Horowhenua, Bernie Wanden.
106.3 Beach FM.